Hello and welcome, family, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. Special shout out to our Patreon family. Thank you so much for sponsoring the program, and for everyone who sends us love donations, and for the people who always ask me, why are you always asking for money? It's because this is a 24/7 job, family. I'd be so happy to be farming right now, but for me to do the work to bring this news to you, I literally have to hire someone to do my work on the farm. So as long as we're sponsored and by those who really understand, understand, and overstand what we're bringing to our people, we'll continue to do it. As soon as that's over, we're very happy to go and become farmers. Seriously, very, very happy. But those are stories for other days. I guess you've seen it. I guess you've seen it. Family, for the last 3 days, I've just been hearing this song. Ding dong, the pig is dead. Ding dong, the pig is dead. And I was just singing it, but I had thought it would be like the Queen Mother of Kenya. So yesterday when I went, because the news was made, yes, well, who knows when she died or whatever. But yesterday, because first thing is, I usually watch the sunrise from my hammock. I came outside and I sat on my hammock, and all of a sudden, like 30 crows out of nowhere came on the baobab tree next to me, and they just kept circling over my head, and they'd fly out and fly back in, and I was like, what the hell is going on? So eventually I was just like, let me just go back inside. And then I fell, family. I was like, what is happening today? And then throughout the day, I was getting calls from my empath friends who were like, yo, the energy, are you feeling this vibe? I'm feeling so heavy. And then next thing, she's gone. Family, this is so huge. I'm going to even be doing several. This is a series. This is going to be a series. I'm going to tell you what Malema had to say. I'll definitely let you know how Kenya's recent political win is related to this. All these are separate shows because it will be too long. Is related to this. And we'll see. We'll see what else comes up. But family, what this means for Africa, let's just start there. It's the beginning of the end for the white supremacy system, as in the head has been cut off. And, now it's just for the rest to fall apart. And everything has been leading to this moment, family. What I found ironic is like how offended the people from the divided kingdom were at all the jokes and just the negative bile that was spewed online about the queen when she died, because she was the queen of colonization. Colonization happened through her. Neocolonialism came through her. She has ruled the Commonwealth, the countries that are still in the colonial system, for such a long time. Crimes that were committed by her people have still not been paid for till today, family. And this is an absolutely big shift. Some say, I don't know if did you guys see, was it like a couple of months ago, a year ago, when BBC fake announced that she had died, and there was this whole there was all this emotion, and then they said no, it's a fake thing. A friend of mine was telling me that it actually happened like 2 months before the Jubilee, and she was saying that the whole Jubilee celebration was actually a celebration of her passing, because they harvested so much energy, mainly from their own people, because Africa kind of ignored that. Definitely check out the show I did on that. But they harvested so much energy during that time. And so whether she left yesterday, whether she died last year, whether this is, Elizabeth 5.0, all that happens is narratives. Family, it's all about the narrative. It's all about the narrative. And so the fact that they have to announce it now means there's no more leeway. And this is from a spiritual perspective. Many people won't get it, but that's fine. For you who understand, because I have to talk in good code, you will understand what I'm trying to say. You see, 2 years ago, family, when the lockdown started, what had actually happened is that the awakening had reached a tipping point where a lot of these shapeshifters could not go from one body to another. Like they were blocked out. They literally couldn't return. They literally, their consciousness couldn't be transferred to another body, be it a clone or whatever. That whole system, started to die because the vibration of the earth is also going so high right now. And if you've been noticing all these glitches, even when Biden fell off his bicycle, that was a clone glitch, family. Well, let me not get too into that. But when I've been telling you, I'm so excited. I don't even know where to start. I've been telling you, family, Babylon has fallen. Babylon has fallen, and this is the sign. They had to kill the narrative of their Queen of England, who's been there for, I don't know, 60 years or however long she's been there. And did you know she was actually crowned in Kenya, family? And I'll do a whole separate thing of how Kenya is tied into this because we just got our second independence recently. The dynasties were totally obliterated, family. And it was a very tense season. It was like a rebirthing of the nation because these were the strongholds and principalities of Elizabeth's new neo colonial order. It's just a sign, family. The north is done. Power is coming to the south. Dr. Miles Monroe, if you ever listened to the conversation we had, where he talked about how the power is coming to the south, whether we're ready, whether we're not ready, whether we're prepared, whether we're not. And look at how Asia, because the only way this matters is this should be a sign for us to push harder, to be totally free of the Babylon narrative, family. Because the only reason Babylon still has after everything they've done, they used to shove broken bottles up our grandmothers. Those grandmothers are still alive today. You think people haven't been chanting for this day? Because it's like, it's like there was, and I'll do a separate show on this. It's like there was a false mother principle that has been in place for so long with these black widow women, the Jezebel spirit. And so many atrocities were committed in her time. Family, all the Commonwealth nations, I think they all have British military presence till this day. You think that's freedom? Commonwealth is just a way to say Empire 2.0. And now that she's done, you see, like Charles has the curse of Diana on him, and he'll never escape that curse. He doesn't have the charisma or the charm to continue this forward. And I find like he lives in a reality that doesn't exist anymore. I mean, the whole royal family. And so much is gonna be exposed about them now. It was already exposed before. Because now I even saw the British were talking about how, they were actually originally from Germany, the royal family, but they were able to shake off that image and, totally become like this royal family of the divided kingdom. So much, family. And I know if you've been feeling it, like the energies have reached such a point that a lot of these people can't exist anymore and their narratives will not hold anymore. There's been a war in the heavenlies, and I find it ridiculous when really brilliant men out there who are spreading who are one of the reminders of our people talk about how there's no war, there's no war. Well, you're not in Africa. So obviously, I don't know, because you're in the divided states. You must be a bit, anyway. Let me not get into him. But there's been a war in the heavenlies. Some say that our galactic family have been negotiating with the reptilians, who was represented by Lisbeth herself, and that they had, there was a cabal that had refused to give up power of Mama Earth, but they had to release her. She had to go. It's the end of a narrative, family. And if you look at it from a narrative point of view, this is a massive shift. Massive. And I know they still have their strongholds and their principalities across Africa, but watch them fall. Watch them fall. Because one of the things, like the reason I even want to share Malema's speech with you is because he it's gone viral across Africa because that's what the youth want to hear. And he was talking about how we're not mourning Elizabeth. And like the divided kingdom, they were trying to say, the I was watching this on Twitter, actually unfold on Twitter, and they were saying how, people were being so mean, a whole nation and an entire world is mourning her. No, they're not. I mean, if anything, this is just a painful reminder that they still have not paid for the crimes they committed. There's someone else who tweeted me and said her seer saw what was coming. I was like, oh, hell no, let me just leave it to Charles. And what is the significance of Charles taking power now? It means that war is here. And there's all these predictions that you can check where they've always shown that whenever there was a king in the divided kingdom, it would usually be like a season of war. And whenever there was a queen, it would be a season of expansion. So don't think Elizabeth didn't continue what Victoria was doing. And don't think Victoria and Elizabeth aren't the same spirit. Hey, I don't know where that came from. Family. The end of the cabal. Babylon has fallen. Like for real, for real. For real, like things are changing. And you know what? Let me even tell you something else. That confirms that the messiahs are here. The male, I told you guys, the female messiah was already here. Like this planet belongs to the feminine principle family. And you see, they tricked you about a male Jesus, a male, God, a male this, a male that. Yet the head of their entire empire, because, divided kingdom is divided states, it's Canada, it's Australia, it's the Western white supremacy. Like this is white supremacy has been shot down, is dead. White supremacy is dead. And if and it's sad because we have parents who are like, oh my god, the queen is dead. Like, are you mad? You look like me and you're mourning. Are you crazy? You see how brilliant the web they wed, like the web they webbed was, family. Black widows, more like white widows, but family. For them, they tell you worship a man. God is a man, this is a man, that is a man, and yet the head of their empire is a woman. But they have to make way because for the new queen of the south, she's even in the scriptures, family. Can't wait. What? The queen of the south is back, and there cannot be two queens in one queendom. And Mama Earth is a queendom, and that's why they've released Wakanda. That's why they've released the King's Queen or whatever, or the Queen's King. That movie, you can see it here because they know it's coming, but they don't know how she's gonna come. And the sad thing is, they're gonna release those movies to try and brainwash our people further. And if you try and tell our people it's for brainwashing them, they won't care. They'll still go and watch it. But the Queen of the South is here. She's back, family. And that's why Lisbeth had to make a quick exit. We honor the spirit of the ancestors. We honor the spirit of the Queen of the South. And redemption time. We're entering our redemption, family. I don't know if you saw that wind. The ancestors are here. I'm feeling, you know, the spirit all around. Hey, no tears today, family. Dry eyes. My champagne is chilling on ice. And family, it's just the end of a terrible, terrible, terrible book of life for us. As I've been saying, it's the end of a narrative. And let me just give this warning that when Rome falls or when Babylon falls, they never fall quietly. They're all about the scorched earth kind of system. Where if I'm leaving, I'm taking as many as possible. I'm messing up everything and I'm going with everything. That's why you can see it's like they're trying to create like this ending even of Mama Earth with the poisoning of and of humanity, literally, ultimately targeting us, the melanated ones. But are you ready for that conversation? So this is the time to be extremely alert, family. At the beginning of September, I felt like something big was coming. Me and my soul sisters here decided to even do a detox, and I felt like it was because we needed to be super alert in this season. And so that's what I'd say, be super alert in this season. Remember all the things we've been telling you for the last 2 years. Stock up on food, try stock up on seeds, stock up on water, and realize, how would you get that? How would you get the things you need to survive if Babylon shuts down? Because they're on their way out and they're not going quietly. So we can expect a season of war, family. But you see, how we carry that narrative on the motherland will determine where we're at, because we are no longer in the Babylon narrative has crashed out with her, regardless of what you see in the residue. And you see it globally, because the whole media, CNN was like, oh, such a sad day. We're here, and I don't know what, blah, blah, blah. But they're not capturing the mood of the people. They're not capturing the celebratory. It's not even, I mean, I think beyond celebration, people are just so exhausted. It's like, thank God this thing is finally ending. And the real mental slavery, if you feel some type of way about this, as someone who comes from a colonized or an enslaved people, which is basically the same thing. At least slavery ended. Colonialism is still ongoing in Africa. And so we must see this as the true independence and liberation season for Africa. And I'm actually going to do an entire separate show on that. I told you it's going to be a series, family. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks to every single person that supports us on Patreon and enables us to be able to do this. We've been up since the crack of dawn, preparing to bring you this news, family. This is it. The end of colonialism, neocolonialism, white supremacy. It's done. It's done, family. And please don't stop the self-defeatist thoughts and conversations. I get so irritated when people are like, oh, well, her son's going to take over and the elite will continue. It's just like maybe in your world, but for me, because my first eye is open, I see this whole thing crumbling. It's crumbling before my eye. It's crumbling before my eye. And now my eyes are catching up. I'm like, what? Because this is the end of Babylon, like for real, for real. If you were waiting for a major sign. And I told you guys, this Lionsgate portal was different. Whenever I told you, the energy that came through, that thing is not being shut off ever again. The black sun is popping. Please check out my brother Orion Star. Is it, yeah, Orion Star on Instagram. But because of this liberation we're in, it's time for us to be so focused, family. So focused. Because they're about to up the ante globally to try and stop what they can't, but still. They say the kicks of a dying horse are the most dangerous. Is it a dying horse or a dying dragon? Ding dong, the bee is dead. 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 Hey, hey. Until next time, family. Tuko pamoja. Looking for a conscious community, or for people, who are on their awakening journey, on their transition to an off-grid living in your country, well, we have the solution, family. We're calling it Unity Communities. We get so many emails every week from people who ask if I know of people in their region, or people in their city, or people in their town who are on a similar kind of journey, who have broken away or are breaking away from the religious psychosis, and they're looking for just people who think the same way in their town, in their city. But more importantly, to give us a community where we feel understood, understood, overstood, where we can bond with people of like mind. And if you feel called to be part of this, definitely email me at drmumbi at drmumbishow.com. Please put your country in the subject line with Unity Communities. Get in touch with me, drmumbi at drmumbishow.com. Unity Communities.